Hey there, I'm Lance and I'm a gamer.
And I'm Sam and I'm a non-gamer.
And we are Love to Hate, where we try to help gamers find great games to play with non-gamers.
And today we're taking a look at Downtown Farmers Market by Blue Orange Games.
Downtown Farmers Market is a tile drafting, tile laying kind of game in which you are trying to match certain scoring requirements, placing tiles in your 4x4 grid. It's a very simple concept, but it's not easy to do well. Let's take a look at it down below, and then we'll come back and share our thoughts on it as a gamer and non-gamer.
All right, here's Downtown Farmers Market on the table. Let me show you guys how this drafting and tile laying game is going to work. With this game, you have a huge stack of tiles that you are going to be drafting and some scoring tiles that you are going to use to score your points. And so in this game, you are going to have 4 scoring tiles dealt to you, and they are going to be double-sided. You can have them be on the easier side, the side that has the black scorecard here on the bottom, or you can flip them over to be on the harder side, the white side, and you can flip some over. You can leave some that are not flipped over. So I could have that one flipped over and the rest on this side, however you want to do it. But these are going to be your scoring regiments that you are going to try to accomplish, and they can either be your columns or your rows. And so I might leave them just as my columns here. And so if I had it on this side, I would need exactly 3 milk in this column that I'm going to build here in a minute. And if I can do that, then I would get 5 points. Or I could flip this over and have an exactly 11 items, and I'll get 9 points. I'll get 1 point for every egg, or 6 points if I can have exactly 4 carrots. If milk is the majority in this row or column, then I'll have 4 points. Or I can flip it over and I need 5 exact items, then I'll get 11 points. And then lastly for this, if I have 2 corn and 1 egg, exactly that combination, I can have anything else in this aisle, carrots and whatever, milk, cheese, doesn't matter, but I need exactly 2 corn and 1 egg, I'll get 6 points. Or if I get exactly 10 items, I'll have 7 points. So I'll decide which side I want to play those on, and then decide the order that I want to place them in, and then I'll be dealt 4 more scoring tiles, and I'll do the same thing. So here's some more examples. I need to have 5 items of some particular type in this particular row. It doesn't matter what they are, but I need exactly 5, or I can have 3 bread and 1 egg, and I'll decide which row I want that to be, and I'm creating a grid essentially here, so I might put it right there, for instance. I need 6 items that are not the same, or exactly 11 items, so I might put that there. I'll get 4 points for every set of these 3 items that I have, or 6 exact items, I might put that there. And then lastly, no cheese. I cannot have any cheese in this row, or 11 items, and I might put that right there. And now I have created my grid, my playing space, and this is where I'm going to be placing all of these tiles. Now, how the drafting works in this game, it's going to be dependent upon the number of players in the game, and you can set these scoring tiles out of the way. You're going to always have 5 tiles in the market, so we'll have 5 out here, and we'll flip them over. And if you're playing a 4-player game, the drafting is very simple. Starting with the first player, you'll just simply draft whichever tile you want. So maybe I want this one, egg and cheese, and I might place it somewhere in my row. For instance, I know that I need at least 1 egg here. So I have an egg in this row. I don't want any more eggs left in this row for the rest of the entire game. I have my 1 egg. I need to get my 3 bread. And then another player would draft theirs, another player would draft theirs, another player would draft theirs. There's always going to be 1 left over, and it will stay there. The first player token will rotate to the next player. We'll have 4 new tiles come out, and then the process would repeat itself. In a 3-player game, it's a little bit different. The first player is going to draft 1, so maybe they take 3 milk, and we'll just put it right there for now. Then they will draw 1 to eliminate from the game. So I'll take this one, and it's out. And now the second player would take theirs, the third player would take theirs. There's 1 left over. First player token is going to rotate. In a 2-player game, both players are going to do the same thing. They will draft a tile, place it somewhere in their grid. Then they'll take 1 to eliminate. So I'll take this one, get rid of it. Second player is going to do the same thing. They'll draft 1, then they'll get rid of 1. There's one left over. First player token rotates. This is going to continue until you have 16 tiles and you have built up your entire scoring area. Then you're going to score your different scorecards. You're going to give yourself points for the ones that you accomplished. The ones you didn't accomplish are just not going to score anything for you. Whoever has the most points is the winner, and that is how you play Downtown Farmers Market. Let's go back up top and share our thoughts on this one.
And we're back, and now we're going to share our thoughts on Downtown Farmers Market from a gamer and non-gamer's perspective. So Sam, first impressions, seeing this out on the table. Bright, colorful artwork on this one, almost cartoony-like. Just simple graphics. What were your first impressions of this?
It definitely looks like a children's game. Very simple tiles. It looks like a matching game. So I didn't have high expectations of the difficulty of it.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. It has a very welcoming feel to it. It's not intimidating. You look at it and it just feels like a family game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's exactly what it is, in my opinion. It is a great family game. The box says ages 7 and up. I feel it does that exactly.
I don't know. I don't.
No?
No, I think it should be higher. I don't think that our 7-year-old could play this.
Okay. All right. You think it's a little more advanced?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe 10 and up.
Okay. All right. Why?
I think there's just a lot of. I think the concept is easy to understand, but the the actual gameplay, the actual putting it into play, would be too difficult for a 7-year-old.
Okay.
Again, it's easy to understand. This tile means in this row you need this many things, but when you have the crosshairs,
Sure.
I think that brings a lot more difficulty.
The logistical sense of it, of that when you place a tile in the first column, third row, that it applies to the first column scoring regimen in the third row.
I think that can be very complicated.
Okay.
So this is a few games. Usually I will bring them down by age, but this is one of the few that I say it needs to.
Maybe needs to be a little higher than what the box says.
Yeah.
That's fair. I can agree with that. Now, that being the case, Sam, you as a non-gamer, did you find that this game was difficult to do well or figure out how to do well?
It was a very easy game to understand how to play. There is no question in how do I play this game? Am I doing it right? I am not good at this game. Both times I've scored very low because you get to the end and you're like, there's nothing. I have this tile and it's going to mess up both my Y and X axis.
Okay.
And I'm not going to get any of those points. So I personally am not good at this game. It is a very easy game to understand and to know how to play, but there's a lot of thinking involved. It's very misleading.
It is. It is something that you look at and on the surface, it's such a simple concept, and then you get into it, and it's probably about the third or fourth tile that you lay down that you start to kind of pick up on, oh, wait a second. I might be getting myself into some problems by making the choices that I'm making.
Yes.
And it just sort of snowballs and builds on itself if you're not careful.
Yeah.
And even if you are careful, the last 3 or 4 tiles that you
really
need to
just
place
throw you
can
off.
really just kill everything.
I think I'm sure there is some strategy on which ones are better to start with. Like, do I really need to focus more on the ones that say this is how many items you need in that column? Or do I want to get out the ones that say these are the items that you need, like the specific items, not the number?
I'm glad you brought that up because I think for me, I wouldn't say the most important part of this game, but it's certainly a very important part of this game is how you arrange your scoring tiles.
Yes.
The game begins even before the game begins, in the sense.
And that's probably something that I didn't pay a lot of attention to. I think both times I was like, oh, well, it doesn't matter. It's good.
Just go with it.
I tried not to get, obviously, like a 5 with a 9.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of anything else, or like this needs eggs and these don't need eggs.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's what you really want to stay away from with this game.
But it's probably not something I paid enough attention to.
But I think once you've played it a handful of times, not even that many times, 2 times, I think you really start to see that and you know, okay, I know how I can do better at this game. And I think more often than not, once you've played it twice, 3 times, 4 times, you can really start to get a handle on this, and you can start doing better for yourself.
This is definitely a game that after you're done playing it, you think, I want to play it again. I want to try it again. I can do better.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Because it is very quick, too.
Yeah, it is. It is. Is it a fun game?
Yes, I really enjoy this game. It's a little bit of a brain burner, not in the typical sense of some of the other games we've played, but more so than you expect from it.
Yeah, I will agree with that as well. I think the drafting works really well.
Yes.
There are several times when someone took the tile I needed, or I was left with a tile that I wasn't thrilled about getting, but I had to find a place to put it.
I will say, when it comes to discarding the tiles, there is some offense that needs to be played, and I am not good at playing that.
A little bit of hate drafting that can go on in this game.
And that's a little frustrating, can be a little bit harder for non-gamers. I am not good. I've played with just Lance, and then I played with Lance and another friend of ours, and paying attention to what's going on in theirs. It's just not something I'm good at. I'm very hyper-focused on what's going on with mine.
Yeah.
And then when somebody takes something that you need and you know they did it on purpose, that's
frustrating.
Hurtful.
Well, let's get into pros and cons on this one. Sam, what were the things you really enjoyed about Downtown Farmers Market?
I mean, it's a really easy setup. It's really easy to understand. It's very quick. It's super simple, but not so simple that it's boring. It's not a boring game at all. I really had fun playing it.
Okay. And some of the things that you didn't like about it?
It's hard to keep your grids straight.
That is true. You nudge one, it nudges all of them, and
that's just a OCD.
Yeah,
I
sure.
like to keep things nice.
Yeah.
And then maybe the little bit of hate drafting, but there's really nothing you can do to control that. It is what it is. I think it's just going to be up to the people that you're playing with. If you're playing with a non-gamer and you want them to enjoy a game, don't be
don't be mean.
Yeah.
Don't be rude.
Yeah.
One thing I'll throw out there that I really like about it that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the gameplay, and if you watch the rules portion of this video, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. The box works so well for me. This is such a simple little box that has a magnetic flip on it that, you know, it's just a bunch of tiles. And look, I'm showing you what's in the box right here. And it's such an easy thing to pick up and carry along with you. And you want to set it up, you just dump all of the tiles out, you're ready to go.
Yeah.
Real easy to set this up. I really like that. All right, so scale of 1 to 10, love to hate. I want to go first on this one. I want to throw my score out there on this first because I really enjoyed Downtown Farmers Market. I know drafting games are a dime a dozen. There's a ton of them out there, and they all
games though.
they really are.
It's one of my favorites.
And you guys know if you've watched any of my videos that I also really like tile laying games, and this has that as well. It has sort of a similar vibe to King Domino, which has long been one of my favorite games, and all the other iterations of King Domino. So this is, I mean, it's Blue Orange Games too. So this has a lot of the same feel to that. So because of it, I'm going to give it pretty good reviews. I'm going to give it a 7.5. It's solidly right there in the mix of games that I enjoy playing. And if anybody wanted to ask to play it, I'd be down. So you're going to say something similar?
No.
Oh.
I'm much higher than that, actually.
Okay.
I'm going to give it an 8.2.
8.2.
Yeah, I really like this game. It's one that it's hard for us to get a game on the table more than once, and this is one that it's going to stay where we can see it because I'm going to want to play it again.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. This may have a top 10 potential for 2022, huh?
Possibly. We're not even halfway through the year. We've had some good ones.
But
lately.
8.2, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. All right. Well, there you have it, guys. That's a big hit then on Love to Hate here with Downtown Farmers Market. It is from Blue Orange Games. Make sure to leave some comments down below. Let us know what you think of this game.
Make sure to like and subscribe and push that bell button so you get notifications of all our new content.
I'm Lance.
I'm Sam.
And we are Love to Hate, where we try to bridge the gap between gamers and non-gamers. We'll catch you next time.